Emu vs Luffy is about to begin here in Elbaf, and it is going to be one of the biggest fight of One Piece history. Why does the giant hold the key for the final war, and what are the ways by which Emu and Luffy could win this fight? But hey, hold on, there is another third way by which both of them, both Emu and Luffy, could win this fight. And this way involves the destruction of the island of Elbaf itself. Stick till the end to know the third and the most craziest way by which Elbaf could end, because it is going to go crazy. But before that, one small request, and that is to like this video, share this video, subscribe to our channel, and emotion. Now with that, let's get back into the main video. So now let us talk about how Emu could win this fight. Now dissecting Emu's victory strategy is pretty easy. His strategy is what it was before he reached Elbaf, and it is still now the same one. That is to make the Elbaf giant submit under him right here, right now. Now we are seeing the subplot of the children in Elbaf for a long time, and we all thought that hey, this subplot is something that Oda is just keeping around to make this whole story of Elbaf even more interesting. But it turns out the kids are really not the subplot, but in fact they are the main plot of the story of Elbaf. They are the main driving force that Emu is keeping around in order to make the giants, both the elder giants as well as the parents of the children, submit to Emu's rule. Emu needs the giant in the final war or the upcoming war, and he knows that if the giants are not in his side, his chances of victory are pretty slim. Let me tell you the reason why the giants are so much important. The giants are literally the main warrior race of the One Piece world, and even someone like Dory and Brogy could easily defeat a Gorosei if they have conqueror's haki. You could see that they both literally sliced off Jupiter without any effort. They stopped Valkyrie. Valkyrie was supposed to be the Gorosei's tank, and they just literally stopped him. And you could easily say that the Gorosei are the main left-hand man of Emu, and even the Gorosei struggled in order to put down both Dory and Brogy, which they ultimately failed. Now imagine this scenario, that final war is going on, and then both Luffy's and Emu's side are fighting each other, but at that moment hundreds of giants just swarm into the chat in order to help out Luffy and his crew. Do you think that Emu's whole army could defeat hundreds of giants? Now you could easily argue that the Holy Knights are not going to be put down permanently by the giants, and I would agree with you on that factor. The Holy Knights could only be put down permanently by the use of conqueror's haki, and we know that not all the giants do have access to conqueror's haki. Only exception right now is Loki. So you have to think about it. Yes, they cannot put them down, but they can easily stall them for enough moment for Luffy and his crew to turn the tide of the battle into their favor, and that is very important in terms of mass battlefield. And do not forget, Dory and Brogy have so much high willpower that they can even challenge Emu's Domi Reversi, so that is also pretty important to think about. But now talking about Domi Reversi, it is the second and most efficient way for Emu to obtain victory here in Elbaf. Yes, Emu cannot Domi Reversi someone like Loki or Luffy, but it is not that point. In this battlefield of Elbaf, there are a lot of people he could easily Domi Reversi and win the battle. But let me just get this straight. I don't think he's going to Domi Reversi any one of the Straw Hat crew, because they are pretty important to the story and very vital for the final war. So I think they are all going to make it out alive of Elbaf, and pretty well. None of them are going to be Domi Reversi. So you could ask me, hey, who could he Domi Reversi in order to obtain victory? See, there are a few victims I'm going to talk about. Number one is Elder Jarl, and Jarl is also one of the person on Emu's hit list. So it is pretty efficient for him just to Domi Reversi. And we could easily see that Emu is not in a good shape, and he's using his attacks pretty efficiently. He's not over exaggerating his power. So efficiency is the key for Emu, and Elder Jarl is the most efficient way for Emu to use his power. He could easily kill two birds with one stone with this Domi Reversi move. But I don't think Domi reversing Elder Jarl is enough, because the firepower produced by both Loki and Luffy is going to be huge, and it is not going to be so easy for a Domi Reversi Elder Jarl to take both of them on. Dory and Brogy are already out of the equation, so there are another few people who are pretty interesting. Let me note them down. So the first option is the parents of the giant children. They are pretty vulnerable right now and giving everything in order to save their children. But if we just leave the parents, how about Emu just do the most evil thing and Domi Reversi the children, who Emu is again literally targeting right now? So it is another very big option. Emu could just literally domi reverse the children, and this just puts Luffy out of the equation. Luffy is not going to fight the children. And even Loki, we first thought that Loki is going to be someone who is not going to be a good person, but now we know how good of a person Loki actually is. And knowing Loki right now, he is not going to swing his Ragnir in order to strike down a Domi Reversi child. So the most efficient way for Emu to win is to Domi Reversi the children. They are the literal key for Emu to win this fight here in Elbaf the most efficient way. Now let us talk about how could Luffy defeat Emu right here in Elbaf. But before that, why do Luffy need to win here in Elbaf? It is pretty simple. Luffy lost in Egghead. He failed to save the real Vegapunk. I know the Vegapunk just reconstructed themselves at the very end, but the real Vegapunk, he is still dead. So Luffy failed his mission and Luffy has to run away in order to save himself. So it was a devastating defeat for the Straw Hat, and to up the morale of the readers and the Straw Hat crew for the final war, we need to give the Straw Hat a win right here in Elbaf. And lucky for Luffy, Emu's own Uno ability Domi Reversi is really ineffective against him. It is useless. So Luffy cannot get Domi Reversi, and Luffy's partner in crime right here is Loki, who is also someone that do not get affected by Domi Reversi. So both of them are really safe from Emu's main ability. We saw Emu use this to Rock's Razorback, and it was the main reason why Rocks failed in God Valley. Otherwise Rocks would have probably defeated Saint Saturn. He probably already defeated Saint Garling and the rest of the Holy Knight. So it would have been a cakewalk for Roger to win at God Valley. But at that very moment Emu showed up, he possessed Saint Saturn and just destroyed Rock's Razorback with his Uno ability Domi Reversi. But right now his Uno ability is out of commission, and let's just say like now Emu is not at his full strength. We could see that Emu is really clumsy and he's not really using all his strength. Is he holding back? I don't think so. I think Emu is severely ill, maybe due to old age or maybe due to some sort of curse. We don't know about it yet, but Emu is literally not in his full strength. So this is the perfect opportunity for the Straw Hat crew and Loki to put down Emu for good. And the most effective and the most efficient way to do this is a team up between Loki and Luffy. It is the most obvious one. Loki and Luffy would team up, use their wholesome power in order to put down Emu. Emu will not be able to defeat both of them right here, right now. Maybe if he gets some sort of power up after Elbaf, he could fight both of them at the same time. But right now, right here, he is not going to defeat both of them. So the best and the most efficient way to put down Emu is a combo attack. That's it. Luffy and Loki just need to unleash their strongest combo attack and it would be good night for Emu and his crew. But if you listened this far, now I'm going to tell you a third way by which both Emu can win and Loki and Luffy could also win. And this could probably be the way by which Elbaf ends. And by this way, we could easily save Emu for another arc or maybe for Blackbeard to just destroy Emu or just take his power and become the main final villain, or maybe Emu is going to power up or get more charged up for the final war. Now the way forward is pretty simple. It involves 4 steps. The first step is to achieve one of Emu's goal. He's not going to kill the children, just take a chill pill, he's not going to do that, but he's going to achieve one thing, that is killing Elder Jarl. Yes, I think Emu is going to kill Elder Jarl. This is going to be a partial victory for Emu. The second point is Gunko doubles down as a Holy Knight. She is going to not feel any kind of guilt for what she did, and she's going to double down as an evil character. This makes Brook and also makes Brook take some kind of responsibility for the evil person he trained, and he's going to be the person in the final war who is going to put down Gunko. And one thing for sure, it is going to be pretty emotional for Brook and also for us the readers. But there is also a third step, and that is the complete destruction of Elbaf. And you see, it is pretty easy. Emu already did that with one island, he's going to do that again. He already has a Mother Flame and he also has the brains of Dr. Vegapunk. So he's going to create even more, and this time he's going to destroy Elbaf. Now you would be wondering, how would Luffy and gang win at this point? It is pretty simple. Luffy and the gang are going to defeat Emu. Yes, Emu is going to be defeated, but he is again going to run away or escape with the help of Gunko. And number 2, they are going to save the children. Yes, Elbaf is destroyed the island, but the generation of giants the lineage of giants still continues with the children and the remaining people of Elbaf. I don't think everyone in Elbaf is going to die. Almost all the giants are going to escape Elbaf somehow, and it is going to be a moral victory for Luffy, the Straw Hat, and Loki. And after the destruction of Elbaf, Loki is going to officially become a partner, maybe not an official Straw Hat, but a partner of the Straw Hat, because he right now will hate Emu even more. And this is the reason why Luffy is going to keep hating the world government and will think that, hey, we have to put down this world government system. And this is the time when Luffy will declare the war against the world government. If you guys watched this far, thank you so much for watching our video. Be sure to like this video, share this video with your fellow One Piece and anime fans. Subscribe to our channel Any Emotion. If you guys have any kind of video suggestion, any kind of idea, be sure to write that down on the comment section down below. We'll definitely look into it and we are going to make a video on it as well. So be sure to do that. But right now, I'm out. Peace.